Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome to this new video right here on XRP and Ripple. We're going to do a full update right here on the technicals. I wanted to speak on some fundamentals as well. So basically to give you as much of a good idea of what to expect from here, right? I think so far we've been correct. I did think yesterday that we would drop down a little bit lower. Like the main area that we spoke about was right here between 2.95 and 2.75 or something. So the area in which I thought we could, drop down a little bit lower, I already made quite big because it is a big area, right? I mean, if you zoom all the way out, this level is the main level that I spoke about, and that's a pretty wide level, right? But we held that technically. That's great. If you still know what I said yesterday, I still do expect that, but I think that there are some fundamental things that we need to talk about regarding XRP here. So let's get right into it. So yesterday we spoke about, of course, the founders and the team selling XRP. I don't think we need to get too much more into that. I think bad news and kind of FUD like that is designed to be the bottom and to be some sort of a way to not necessarily make retail sell. I'm usually not someone that's into conspiracies like that, but usually bad news like that is not a reason to sell off any further, especially when it's not really bad news. I mean, this was something that was already going on. Now, some good news though, is that one of Ripple's main products, which is the ROUSD stablecoin, is grown quite nicely. Over the last 7 days, it has seen a growth of about 10% in market cap. So that's absolutely great to see, and you can see over the course of the last month, we've seen even a bigger growth from 430 up to 577. So what is that? That's 140. That's about a 32% increase or so. Great, right? Because ROUSD is one of their products. If that actually becomes one of the main stablecoins, then that's a huge plus for Ripple, because then it also, outside of just being a layer 1 blockchain, it also positions themselves in that niche. So that's great fundamentally. Technically though, and I'm not sure if I should say though, but what I said yesterday and the day before is that I thought it was most likely that XRP was actually going to be relatively stable. We had a major bearish breakdown right here on Wednesday with a lot of volume. We have already rallied a lot, and now we have this massive resistance level above us at 3.4 and 3.35. And to me, this is very much based on feelings, but to me it feels like XRP is starting to move a little bit more like it was right here at the end of May and in the middle of June, where XRP was quite stable and quite strong in times that Bitcoin was weak, but it also was quite weak and quiet when Bitcoin was strong. It seems like we're getting into that, all right? I think behind the scenes, the fundamentals are becoming better for XRP. So that's why, and I told you this yesterday, I do think we're still going to break out above 3.4 and rally up higher at some point of time. But for now, I still think, especially over the course of the weekend, I still think that we're going to remain relatively stable. And with bad news, it also still is a possibility, although it's unlikely, that we're going to get some sort of a liquidity grab into 2.75. I wouldn't bank on that, all right? It's unlikely that we're going to do something like that. We have massive support right here at $3 and 2.95. The only way, like I said, something like that can happen is with some bad news, which, is a possibility. Maybe if this whole trade deal between the United States and the EU doesn't work out, it's a possibility. Be ready for it. But ultimately, XRP looks fine. XRP looks stable, and stability on the higher time frames is great news. Those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.